Hi team, welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 590. That means that we're only 10 days away from 600. I feel like we need to have some kind of whiz-bang celebration or something, I think. What do you think? I reckon we should maybe have, I don't know, some kind of fun giveaway or, I don't know, something fun. I think we should definitely celebrate that. I think it's a pretty cool milestone, actually. So if you are joining us live, hello and welcome. If you are happening to be listening to the replay, hello and welcome. I wanted to talk to you today about free things, but before that, what are you celebrating? I would love to know about that. Share it in here as you're coming in. Hi, Gemma. How are you? Welcome. All right. I think what's really cool, what I'm celebrating this week, I'm feeling really buzzed, actually. I'm feeling pretty creative. I'm feeling like I'm on top of things. I'm feeling like everything is just kind of it always does. It always feels like it's working out how it's supposed to be. But sometimes you get that beautiful synergy of where everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to be, and it feels like everything is working out exactly how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Hey, Chris, how are you? And I guess for me, it's like I always know, no matter what happens across the weeks, the years, the all of the things, the days, the moods, that it might not always feel like everything's working out, but I always know that everything is working out. That then you get those really awesome weeks where it all just goes like, it all falls into place and everything is just beautiful and fun and fabulous. So let me know what you're celebrating, because that's what I'm celebrating. What I actually wanted to talk with you about as well, though, today is why we would give away free things, and do they even still work? Because, you know, it is a little 2010 and it is a little bit like, well, you know, does this thing even work? Do funnels even still work? Do ads even still work? Do lead magnets even still work? And the very short answer to you is yes. Chris, just before we get onto that, Chris, oh my gosh, congratulations, a registered nutritionist. Congratulations. I didn't know you were celebrating that. I didn't know that you were studying that. Not that I need to know everything that you're studying, but that's awesome. Congratulations. Really fantastic. Amanda, celebrating, I just put out an ad for my first Reiki certification class. Awesome. Congratulations. That's really brilliant. I know that that's something that's really important to you. So really well done. Oh, look at you guys. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. The short answer with do free things still work is, of course, is yes. I've been giving away free trainings. I've been giving away a whole ton of free things like PDFs, checklists, all that sort of stuff over the years. And I suppose what I want to just talk to you about today is the reason, not only the reason why, but how and why we do this. So I'm a huge fan, as you know, of building relationships. I'm a huge fan of making sure that people get to see that they can get results from you before they even work with you, or that they can feel inspired by what you're putting out there and they can feel motivated to make a change and to do something. So yes, getting results in advance is super important, but also for them, your audience they've got problems, they've got goals, they've got a whole ton of things going on in their world, and really what they need is quite often that they'll need a kick in the ass, right? I was on a call yesterday with a lady who's really fantastic. We've been chatting on and off for the last 18 months. She's been doing a few different things of mine, kind of like entry-level things of mine. And she booked a call in with me. So we're on the phone yesterday and she said, you know what, Nicola, I really love the way you do things, but most of all, I know that you will kick my ass. If in the thing that I really need to do, I know that you're going to kick my ass. And I said, yeah, of course I will, like nicely and, you know, with love, and because this is what, you know, you need. And she's like, yeah, this is why I need to pay you, because otherwise, you know, I'm just left to my own devices. So think about your audience. You know, they might have done a few different things with you. They might be going through your website. They might be listening to your Facebook stuff. They might be reading your stuff. They might be getting motivated, and that's really awesome. But a lot of the time, what people need is that kick in the ass to get moving, to make a change, to do something different. Because here's the thing we all know. The very definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to get a different result. Right? Facts. So, or hashtag facts, as my son would say. So right from the very, very beginning, what I was doing, so in 2010, 2011, so way back when, if we cast our minds back to the previous decade or more, actually, crazy how fast time goes. The things that I was doing, I was giving away free discovery sessions. Now, let's call a spade a spade. These were sales calls, but what I was doing with these discovery sessions is I was sitting down, I was going through a discovery session, strategy session, whatever you want to call it. And one of the big things that I would be doing, and I still stand by this to this day, is that if we end up on the phone on a strategy call, I'm going to give you, we'll chat about where you're at, where you want to be, and what I think are the best steps forward for you to take. Now, at the end of that session, and I always say, at the end of this session, you'll either want to work together or you won't. And, either way, that's fine. The strategy that we go through is what I really wholeheartedly believe is the best thing for you. And that has not changed in the last 11 years since I've been doing this. If we're on a call, there's never any pressure. You do what you like. You're an adult. You're a grown person, a grown woman, grown man. You can make whatever choices and decisions that you want to make. And I will let you know what I think are the best steps for you to take in order for you to get the outcome that you want, right? And it just so happens that today, I think you giving away a free thing or multiple free things is a really great strategy for you to be able to build a whole lot of equity, really, like brand equity and trust with your audience. So I used to do this with discovery sessions. The other things that I would look at doing if I were you, they are great. They are time consuming, potentially, depending on how long you're running them for, and depending on what you have got available to sell at the end of that, or 3/4 of the way that call, if you are wanting to sell something, then if you're looking at selling something for $100, it may not be worth your time, and I mean this with the utmost respect, it may not be worth your time and energy to sit and have to talk to 5 people a day for 45 minutes at a hit in order to make a $100 sale. That might not be financially equitable for you. So think about that. If you're selling something for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, then it's no brainer for you to invest the time in running that call, right? So think about what the end outcome might be for them if it pans out and if it's the right fit. What kind of offer would you be making? So the thing that I also really, really like that I think is really helpful for your audience to see are multiple different ways that they can get to experience you. Now, the thing that we know is that humans are, generally speaking, they learn and absorb information in 3 big ways. So we've got the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic people. So things like webinars are really awesome for people who are visual, who really like to see things and watch things or read things. And it's also really great for the auditory people who need to hear from you in order to be able to learn and in order to be able to build trust. Now, I'm currently studying at the moment to be a doctor of natural medicine. And I say that because I still am like, this is hilarious that I will be Dr. Nick. Anyway, one of the things that I think is really important, and thing that I've noticed, is that I'm sitting there I'll sit and watch the video training or the video lecture, and I'm like, oh my God, this is doing my freaking head in. I need to have the subtitles, I need to have them on, and I like to then go back and have a look at the transcript as well as taking notes. So for me, I'm very visual, I'm also very audio. So whether I'm looking at downloading a free thing or consuming a training, they're the things that I will look for. Now, I know that I'm not really that unique. And I know that your audience is a mix of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic people. So have a think about, first of all, what is the easiest thing for you to create right now? Now, it could be an audio training, a video training, a PDF, a document, a guide, a checklist, whatever it happens to be. What is the easiest thing for you to create, right? Because if we can take away the roadblocks of, I want you to go and write a 360-page ebook, you're going to go like, no, Nicola, I'm not going to go and do that. That's ridiculous. It's going to take way too much time, and I'm not a writer, and I'm not an author, and whatever else it is that you happen to say to me. Hello, Joan, how are you? So think about what's the easiest, fastest thing for you to create that you can produce at a high quality in the course of the next 7 days. What is something that you could create? So when you think about that, first of all, it takes some of that pressure off to have to go and have a full video production and go and create a 4-part video training series or whatever the case might be. So what is the quickest and easiest thing for you to create? Then the other thing that I want you to think about is, what is it? Now, this is running on the assumption at the moment that you've got clients or that you've got some people in your audience who are able to provide you some feedback. Now, I'm not talking about feedback in the sense of, oh, I've created this, can you give me some feedback on it? No, my friend, that is not what I mean, because you are the expert in what it is that you do. You don't need feedback, you don't need to crowdsource your feedback. All right. What we're looking for feedback on is, what is your audience telling you that they are struggling with at the minute? What are they telling you that they feel like they really need? What are their goals? What are their dreams? What are the things that they want more than anything? Because if you can work out what is it that your audience are asking for help with, just in general, then you know that the thing that you are going to be, the resource that you are creating for free, is going to be helpful, and it's automatically going to be able to provide a result, right? So an example of this, I recently uploaded onto my website. If you haven't been over there for a little while, go check out the free stuff that's in there, the goodie bag. What I had been having come up quite a few times, like maybe half a dozen times from different people, were like, I need to get some new branding photos done. What kinds of things should I be looking for? How do I employ a photographer? What questions do I ask? What photos should I get? What should I wear? Should they be landscape or portrait? And I was like, okay, well, if I'm having like half a dozen people asking me for this, I need to go and create a free resource. So that was what I did. So rather than reinventing the wheel, rather than getting all caught up in my head around, oh my God, what am I going to create? What am I going to create? Then you've got something really simple and easy to create for them. And it's based on the feedback, the things that they are asking you for. Amanda, something that's just popped in my head, if people are saying to you, oh, look, I want to get more in tune with my energy, for example, or, I just don't understand why things are so hard, like I wish things were easier. You could create a chakra description download, for example. Chris, you could create something that was like dancing with nutrition, because I know that you have a dance studio, right? So you could have those different things and mix them in together, nutrition for peak performance, that kind of stuff. So, think about who you've got coming through, what problems they're asking for, what problems they're telling you that they have, what they might be asking you for, and things like that. One of the really big roadblocks, I suppose, to this that people tell me that they have, or the big question that they'll say to me is like, Nick, how can I possibly, how do I don't want to give away the farm. I don't want to give away too much. How much should I give? My opinion on this is give away the freaking farm, right? Everybody can go to Google these days, and you can Google anything. You can download a ton of things. So make these resources as in-depth as you possibly can. Give them the what they need to do. Give them a little bit of the how they can do it. And then the thing is this. Some people are super resourceful, and some people will just go, all right, yeah, great, I've got this thing, all right, I'm off and running, I can make this happen, bang, and they can go and get some amazing results. the thing that most people miss, and I put a post up about this yesterday, one of the big things that is missing for many people who have got so much potential is accountability. So you can go and create all of these free things. People can go and get some results. But here's the thing. Most people, me included, really struggled to maintain momentum and motivation to do the hard things like staying on track with my food, like staying on track with my content creation. This is why I say to you guys, I'm gonna be on here at 11 o'clock every morning, Sydney time, because I know if I'm accountable to you, I will show up 99% of the time. There are some days I'm just like, oh my God, you guys, I'm just not doing this today. But that is super rare, right? So I have you hold me accountable. So thank you for that. With the free things that you're putting out, your audience will take them and run with them, and some will get incredible results, and sustainable results. Some people will get incredible results and then fall off the wagon. Some people will get incredible results and not do anything else with it. Some people will get substandard results and sustain that. Some people will get substandard results and then throw in the towel. Some people will download it and go, oh, look at that, my problem's solved, as if by magic. Like that magical download just did the wonderful thing that it did, and they don't even open it and they get no results, or they don't even open it and then they get results, because we can't control, and this is one of the biggest learnings for me throughout my whole entire business career. It is not up to us to control the results that other people get, and it is not up to us to control the time in which our people achieve a result. And it is not up to us to control when they get the transformation that they want. I've had people go through programs years ago, and they'll email me and they'll say, oh my God, I've done that. I did that training with you and I am still seeing the results today. Or they'll say, I went back and I did the training again and I've just had this massive breakthrough. Or, by the way, I went through that training and it changed everything for me, but I didn't see the results until like 2 or 3 years later. I like it. I really, really love it when people get instant results. But the reality is that most of us are human. Well, we're all human, right? We're all human. And we can't control when things are going to change and shift for us. One of the things that I know, I started working with a different mentor a couple of years ago, and and even pre that, I'm still getting lessons from mentors that I worked with 10 years ago, because different things will settle in, or one of the quotes that they'll say will pop into my head, or I'm like, oh, that's right, I remember such and such saying this particular thing, and yeah, it's still true and relevant today. So it's really not up to us to try and control that. So what I want you to do is just give away the farm. Some people will go through and implement everything. Most won't. So it doesn't matter. Now, and then the other thing is that even when that initial problem is solved, or people get that first breakthrough and hit that goal, there is a whole brand new set of problems or a whole brand new set of goals that then needs to be achieved. So an example of this is, at the moment, I'm really working on growing muscle, right? I'm really working on my nutrition. I'm really working on training every day. That's not true. I'm training like 5 days in the gym, and I'm really I'm pushing myself. I'm working myself to failure. And one of the things that I know is through this 10-week block that I'm really focused on that. There's a week left. I know that there are going to be new things to learn. There's a new depth of things to learn now that I've got this stuff under my belt and I've become a bit more comfortable and, strong and whatever else. It's all right, how do we take this now to that next level? There's a new depth, there's a new layer of learning that's needed. And this is the thing, you can give away in a free thing, you can give away the hints, tips, tricks, the insights, whatever else, but there's always going to be a new layer or a new level of depth and a way that they can accelerate more. So by you giving away as much as you possibly can in this free thing that you create, you're buying a whole lot of brand equity, you're helping your audience to get results, and they're much more likely to trust you, they're much more likely to buy from you in the future, and it's a win-win. So that's that. The fifth point in here is to make sure that you let them know, on that topic, that you let them know how they can get more help should they choose to get more help, right? Sounds really obvious. Case in point, we're going through all of these free things. You need to have the confidence to create them. You've got to make sure that you know who your audience is, and then you've got to get out there and put them out there. Now, if you need help with this, come to Visible Live, right? For example, that is happening in June. You should totally be there. It's a national tour. Get yourself to the closest city. It'll rock your world, and you'll leave there feeling pumped and motivated and excited and revved up and amped and confident, and you'll have so much clarity, and you'll be able to get out there and take over the world. Right? That's what Visible Live would be. So if I'm telling you what you need to do in order to create a free thing, and that's cool. So then the next step is to get some help if you want some personalization. So that would be my working example of that. Now, for me, what I thought I would share with you were the best performing things in the last decade of things that have worked really, really well for me. So I would have to say, in terms of financial return, webinars were by far the highest, best, most profitable, highest converting free things that I've ever done. So with webinars, I made millions of dollars running webinars. I used to run them twice a week. I would put a whole lot of money into lead generation, doing Facebook ads, run the webinars, talk to people after the webinars, and that was really, really an awesome way of being able to deliver some really high quality content, but also to have a two-way conversation with people. So for me, I always delivered them live. Now, I know that there is a whole industry, there's a whole sub-industry of pre-recorded webinars or pretend live webinars. You guys, there is not one person out there doing a webinar at 10 a.m. and then 11 a.m. and then 12 p.m. and then 1 p.m. and then 2 p.m. and then 3 p.m. In your area, live, they are not doing that. I can guarantee you. It is, they might have on there, like, select which webinar you might like to attend, and it is not live, right? It might have been recorded live, although most of the time they're not that either. It may have been recorded live, but they are not live. I used to run them live. I tested, they're called an evergreen webinar. I tested doing the evergreen webinar that was pre-recorded, and I personally hated it. The reason that I hated it was because it was just, there was nowhere near that level of interaction. So I can see Sue, Fiona, and Fawn, you guys came on, good morning. If you've got questions, if we're on a webinar and I'm running something, and if I'm talking and you ask a question, I answer it. I'll say, oh, Sue, this is a really awesome question. Thank you so much for asking. Or Amanda, thank you so much for putting that in there. Yeah, like this is, I agree wholeheartedly. Or this is my take on this. Or glad that you brought that up. So webinars, if you're going to run them as a free resource, they are they're amazing. They convert really well. Just the cost of getting the webinar registrations these days is a lot different to what it was like, 7-8 years ago when I was running them intently. The second thing that is probably performed the best out of everything over the years is my visible content map. So this is a really cool story actually, because the content map is something, it's like a culmination of all of the different habits, the different strategies, the different things that I've done over the years to create content and be on message all the time. So being on message for me is about you being visible, you putting yourself out there, getting your message out there, helping a ton of people, and doing it in a way that feels good for you, right? With the people you love. So that's been basically my message since day one. The content map though, I was doing I did a 3-day event called Sales and Marketing Spice School. I relaunched it, reinvigorated it in 2018. And on the 4th day, it was a VIP day, and we were chatting about one of the questions was, How do we create content that so that we're on message? You know, have you got a plan or something like that? And I've gone, oh yeah, on the whiteboard, I said, this is what I would do. And I basically drew up the content map on the whiteboard, and I was like, that just fell out of the end of my Sharpie, that fell out of the end of my texter. And it was awesome for all the people there. And I'm like, shit, this needs to be a free thing, right? So it was like invented in the moment. When you're working with a client or you're on the phone with somebody who you would love to have as a client, one of the things that you can do, I'm a very big note taker. So my iPad with my little iPad pencil, Apple Pencil, sits here all the time, and I take furious notes, and I'll often draw pictures. You guys, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know I do this all the time. I'll draw pictures to describe my thinking or to give people a visual reference for what I'm seeing in my head and how you can then apply it. So if you're similar to that, and if you're coaching or you're training or you're conversing with someone, you're like, oh, you know, if you just did this, this, and this, and you drew it up on a thing, you've just drafted a free thing, right? That could be a free PDF, a checklist, a template, a download, a step-by-step guide. Anything that you do that you're creating in the moment, to me, that's almost like you've just channeled the exact thing that your audience needs. And then your job is to go make it pretty or not, however you do it. I'm not graphically design minded, so I hire people to make my shit pretty. And then you go and put it out there as a lead magnet, right? If one person has asked for something like this, or if 5 people have asked for something like that, then you know it's already going to be helpful out there in the marketplace. So get out there and do that. That was how the content map was invented. The next thing was a cool thing that I created in 2014, and it was called the Rich Bitch Guide to Having It All. So at this point, we were doing $1 million a year. It was awesome, but I still had days, even when I was making all of that money, because it's not all about money, right? I was still having days where I'm like, you know what? I just don't feel like it today. I don't feel like showing up today. Some of my clients were really demanding, which is fine, you know, but I was like, oh man, you know, you're not always going to have your shit together. You're not always going to feel motivated. You've got to really develop that internal kind of grit and resilience. And, you know, I'm just going to, you know, make it happen no matter what's going on. So the Rich Bitch Guide to Having It All was all about that, really, grit, resilience, mindset, how you then take your ideas and turn them into money. You know, it was all about that. Yeah. And not that everybody wanted to be a rich bitch, but there was like all of the people that opted in for that free thing, that free guide. It was a PDF guide that was maybe about 6 pages, I think, from memory. They were like, yeah, like I want that up-leveled sense of luxury and whatever else. The next 2 things that have been really transformational and performed really, really well, a bit more recently, has been the planner. So there's a 90-day planner that I give away for free. And it's basically my planning process so that I make sure that I get all my shit done that I need to get done, and that I stay on the point where I'm ticking things off every day so that I feel like at the end of the day, like, yeah, I got everything that I wanted to get done. For those of you who are high achievers and high performers, there's nothing better than writing something on, like I've done this morning, derby stuff. I wrote that on and then I crossed it out to make sure. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I spent about an hour doing roller derby stuff this morning. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't just feel like I wasted all my morning, like doing stupid shit, right? Or scrolling on Facebook. I like to have that sense of achievement at the end of the day. So that worked really, really well. And then the final thing that's worked freaking fabulously is my 30-day visibility challenge. You may have seen this going out on the internet. It's a photo, or not a photo of me, but it's a chick with pink hair. Could almost be a photo of me back in the day. Pink hair, cool sunglasses on, and then that black and white rays behind us. And it's the visibility challenge. And so I give away 30 content prompts so so that you can get more visible. So you don't have to think, holy shit, what am I going to talk about today? You know, it's already there. Because I know if you think about it, you guys, the visibility challenge solves the problem of what the fuck am I going to talk about today? The planner solves the problem of I've got 1,000,001 things to do. I keep getting distracted. I keep procrastinating. I get to the end of the day and I feel like I don't get anything done. The Rich Bitch Guide to Having It All was more of a goal-orientated free thing that was about, all right, get yourself out there, make it happen. These are the steps. The Visible Content Map is all about having a system and a structure so that you know, again, on a weekly basis, how to deliver your authority-based content. The webinars were all about solving a problem, which were, or the 3 keys to making your marketing work for you. So again, solving that stuff. So I didn't have to think too hard with all of those 1, 2, 3, 4, those 5 things. I didn't have to think too hard when I was creating them. I just listened to what the people were telling me, and then I created something to either help solve a problem or help them achieve a goal. So that's the thing that I really encourage you guys to all, or you ladies, you fabulous humans, to do today. Now, of course, with any free thing, one of the things that I said to you before, you'll remember, is that you've got to let your people know how they can get more help from you next. If you want help with this, you need to get into Visible Live. I'm doing the national tour in June. We're traveling around from the 15th of June till I think the 23rd of June or the 25th of June or something like that. The link is coming to you in the comments right now. Of course, with everything, if you've got any questions about any of this, please make sure you let me know. I would love, I love answering questions. I would love to answer those for you. Tickets to Visible Live are only $497, 2-day immersion, you and me in the room. You're going to walk away with your whole content planned and mapped out for the next 12 to 18 months. And some of the really cool things that you'll get out of this is clarity, confidence, and you'll just be so motivated and inspired to see that you can be creating things that are a leap and a hop, skip, and a jump. A leap, I don't know what I was going to say, in front of your competition or anybody else in your industry. And it's going to help you to communicate this stuff in a really unique and powerful way that feels great for you, that makes sense for your audience, and has you getting more clients, because that's what we need to keep this business going, right? For you. Okay, I am going to love you and leave you. It's been lovely hanging out with you on this very fine Friday. Get out there, go help some people, have fun doing it, and most of all, remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome. I shall see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.